to another video. My name is Kitt Nyang'aya if you're new here. If you're not, welcome back. Today I am shooting in the nursery, my children's room, because we're talking about children. I get so many DMs about, hey Kitt, do you help with feeding? My child doesn't eat. How do I get my child to eat without, you know, being beaten or being forced, or I have to run around with them? And I'm just like, man, this is really hectic. So I thought I'd do a video and share with you guys some tips that I think are really going to help. Okay, so we have 5 tips that I think are going to help you to get your child to eat. Because, I mean, in an African setting, in any setting really, the fatter your child, the better. Everybody likes a kapum pum. Everybody likes those thick thighs, those fat cheeks. Yeah, so anyway. Have all your meals in the same spot. It doesn't matter if it's a table. I have a little table and 2 chairs for my children. When I was just weaning them, I would put them on a high seat. When we go out, we sit, like if we're in somebody's home, we sit in one corner. So I ask the host, where can we sit? And I put them to sit down on the floor, and I put their food in front of them and they eat there. The reason for this is like a, what's it called? It's a trigger for their brain, and it tells them it's time to eat. It's not time for other things. So they focus on eating and they move on. So I know that it sounds so strange to have your child literally like, you only have this amount of time to eat, and after that we are not doing anything. I know it sounds weird and it sounds foreign, but nobody eats for more than 20 minutes. Today, when you're having your lunch or your dinner or whatever, time yourself. See how long it takes you to eat. For most of us adults, it's 7-8 minutes. We rarely get to 10 unless we're out with friends, and even then we'll be finished with our meal much faster than, you know, just after that we'll just sit around and talk to each other. So give your child 20 minutes, time it on your phone. What I do is I time it on my phone, I put the 20 minutes and I show the child. Like, let's say 2 or 3 weeks ago, I noticed that Keyo was really eating so slowly, and Kendi would finish her food and move on, and he would be eating 30 minutes, 40 minutes. This is something that he had not been doing before, and I was like, what's going on with this baby? So I started putting it on the timer. Keyo is 3 years old, and I would show him. I told him, Bunny, I'm putting 20 minutes on the timer, and that's how long you have to eat your food. If by 20 minutes you're not finished, I'll take away the food regardless. So that would give him encouragement to finish, and I would count him down. I'd be like, 10 more minutes. So it's not like if you don't finish your food in 10 minutes, no, it's just like, this is how long you have to eat your food. When I'm not going to take the food away from you, warm it and bring it back. Nobody eats for that long. You shouldn't give that much time to eat. I get so many DMs of people telling me, my child eats for 1 hour. So if you start lunch at 1, you finish at 2? Guys, that's not sustainable. Like, you can't go out, like that's not sustainable. Set the timer, and when the timer goes off, take the food away. It doesn't matter if they cry. It doesn't matter if they throw themselves on the floor and tell you, like Keyo would tell me, Mama, I'm still hungry. I mean, I know that's a manipulation tactic, because he has eaten most of his food and he was just sitting around with it. So my job is to encourage him to eat in a sustained, focused manner. It's not for him to eat quickly. It's for him to eat while he is focused. So when you're focused, you can finish your food. So it took us about, I want to say 5 days for him to be like, oh, this food is only coming for 20 minutes, so I better finish and move on. Okay. And by drinks, I mean milk, porridge, juice, at any other time other than meal time. So these drinks that are not water should only be offered with food. All other times, a thirsty child will drink water. And don't worry about putting anything in the water. Water is perfect, just as it is. So we start off very, very early on, teaching children that they need sugar and flavor in their drinks, which, come on guys, I mean, come on guys, they come from drinking breast milk, and then all of a sudden we want to add sugar and we want to add all these other flavors into their water, which is not ideal. So your child needs to only drink pure water when they're not eating, and then they can have all these other drinks with food. The reason for this is because their teeth are really, really sensitive. They're young teeth, and when they drink juice, even if it's just fresh juice, it erodes their teeth because there's still sugar in fresh juice. Okay, so what you want to do is buffer that with food. So you have the food and the juice at the same time, so it's kind of like a buffer. And then another thing that we don't understand is if you keep giving your child milk and juice at all other times of the day, that's actually food. So milk is food, juice is food, so they are full. By the time they're eating, they are full. They don't want the food. And then you're like, this child doesn't eat. Why aren't they eating? I always ask these guys, how much drink do you give these guys? Like literally there's like a liter of food, like actual food. I mean, it's drinks, but it's food in their belly. So they're full. They don't want to eat. A hungry child always eats. So what you need to do is stop the drinks and only offer them at mealtime with food. I know what you're thinking. You might be like, no, but Kitt, if I offer the drink with food, they'll only drink the food, they'll only drink the milk and not eat the food. I assure you, because you've offered it with the food, they will eat the food because they're not full. They're hungry. Okay, so this also goes with snacks. So sometimes you offer your child food and they don't want to eat it, and then 40 minutes later, they're ready for a snack. But they're actually not ready for a snack. They're ready for their meal that they refused to eat. So if you offer breakfast at 8 o'clock and then at 8:40 your child wants a snack, don't give them the snack. Give them breakfast, because that's what they need to eat. They need to be eating good full meals rather than snacking throughout the day. Those are not meals. Like crisps is not a meal, or what else do people offer? Fruit is not a meal. I mean, it can be part of a meal, but it's a snack. So you need to offer 3 meals, 2 snacks, or 3 snacks throughout the day, but make it very, very structured so that your child knows when to expect food and not just eat because they're bored. The way we eat, me, I'm just like, hey, where are those corn chips? Where are those crisps? I can just eat all day and night because I'm bored. I'm sitting in front of my computer editing, or I'm watching a movie and I'm just like, let me just snack forever because I'm bored. No, we don't do that, guys. With children, we teach them how to eat so that when they're grown up, they can have better habits than us, guys, okay? So many of you guys offer your children food, and if they don't like it, you give them something else. I don't know where we come up with such things. My mother would be like, what? If you don't like it, that's okay, go play or whatever, but there's nothing else. Oh my God. I laugh so that I don't cry. Anyway, so the thing is this: if you don't want to eat, like one time Kendi told me she didn't want to eat the chips and the sausages that I was offering. She wanted rice. And I told her, hey, mama, there's no rice. There's chips and sausages. Eat it or don't. It's your choice. So she said she would not eat it. And she sat in the living room and she was watching cartoons, and Keyo was eating. After a while, she was like, mama, I'm hungry. I'll have the chips. And I was like, sure thing. I gave her the food. But I'm not a hotel. I'm not a restaurant. This is home. There is no alternatives. You can't teach your child that if they don't like something, then there's something else that they will be offered. When they go to a relative's house, they will be those children that we cringe at, and we're like, okay, because they're like, ew, I don't like ugali, and then their mother pulls out hot dogs from their purse. I don't know why I'm saying hot dogs, guys, but it's just like, it's not a good show. That's not life. You need to be able to at least try different things, and you teach your child from a very young age that that's what's available. So as soon as you start weaning your child, yes, 6 months old, teach them that this is what's for dinner. If they don't like it and they don't want to eat it, that's fine. They can go and wait for the next meal. Nobody ever died in 3 hours of not eating. Your child is not going to lose weight because they missed one meal. Even if they don't eat the entire day, they're not going to lose weight. If they're sick and healthy and running around outside, but they just don't like what's on offer, allow them to be hungry. That's fine. That's okay. You can, when you're offering snacks, if it's fruit and they like it, they can eat that. Meals, they don't want the meals, they can wait for the next snack time. It's all right. At 6 months old, what I do is I put the food in front of the child. I have my own spoon and they have their own spoon as well. So as they are picking up the spoon and chewing on it, I keep removing it and offering them my spoon with the food. By the time they're 7 or 8 months old, they are putting it all over their face. Practice makes perfect. Meal times are messy. I have a lot of cleanup after every single meal, but by 8 months old, 9 months old, my children are feeding themselves. So sometimes snacks that they can pick up with their hands, I just put it on the, like, what's it called? The seat, what's that? The feeding chair. There's that plate that you can take off. I wash that like a plate, put the food on it so they can pick it up and put it in their mouth. Bottles that they can pick up, again, same situation. So by the time they're like 9 months old, I serve them food, I serve myself food, they sit over there, I sit here, and we eat together like a family. I don't have to be holding them and I don't have to be feeding them. So many parents are tempted and somewhat encouraged to put on cartoons or TV or something like that, YouTube. And especially I see this in like places where they're not at home. They have their phone on and the child is watching while they're being fed. So I'm not sure what the motivation is behind this, and I don't know where this comes from, but somehow people learn to teach their small children to watch something as they are eating. This takes away a lot of attention off the food and focuses all their attention on the cartoons. So when there's no electricity and your phone isn't charged and somebody left with the iPad, then does this mean that your child doesn't eat? If you're out at a picnic or with friends, then your child is not able to eat and interact with other people because they have to be stuck watching something. This is not sustainable. It's not real life. When they go into kindergarten, they're not going to have this. It's going to be really painful for them to eat without watching something. So what I encourage you to do is turn off the media. And when your child is young, you really want to limit the amount of time they have on the screen. This is a story for another day, but you need to turn off the media while you're eating and focus on your child. Talk to them and pull faces and sing songs, but interact with your child, so they learn how to eat while interacting with other people if they're eating with other people. That also minimizes the amount of time that they eat, because they're not just like while they watch something, you get. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed these tips, and tell me in the comment section below if you are using these tips, if they work for you. I would really want to hear back from you. If you're not following me on Instagram as well, the links are below. Follow me on there, DM me, tell me your experience with feeding and what you have taken away from this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this kind of content, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. Bye.